We have a lot of sponsor-driven trials here in Paratus Clinical, especially at our different sites in Melbourne, in Central Coast, in Canberra, as well as Western Sydney. And these sponsors come from all around the world, as you can imagine, especially America, Europe, Asia, and now more recently, even from China. Hi there, my name is Dr. Pi Lip Seet. I'm a full-time principal investigator here at Paratus Clinical Research in Brisbane. My background's also as a surgical registrar, and I work clinically in hospitals around Brisbane. That's an interesting question. In the medical industry, as you know, there's a lot of turning points, especially for medical professionals. It is a funny story because Paratus Clinical actually fell into my lap out of the blue while I was working in a rural hospital. I decided to try a new avenue of medicine that I've never tried before or ever thought about. And back in those days, we're talking about 4 years ago, when COVID was just at the end and vaccines and COVID vaccines were now mostly immunized in the general population, I decided to give it a go and see what the groundwork was with regards to clinical trials and how these medications are placed onto the market. And I decided to try something new, and this is how I ended up at Paratus Clinical Research. In working as a doctor in a hospital, you administer drugs, you administer vaccines, you administer a lot of prophylactic medications, but you never really are told or are never really taught in medical school, especially how these medications are established and how the research and the background knowledge involved in establishing these medications envelops and becomes part of the entire community once it's on the market. The development of these medications and vaccines is interesting in the fact that we know what the background work involves. And I guess that's where my passion with clinical trials comes from. We have a lot of sponsor-driven trials here in Paratus Clinical, especially at our different sites in Melbourne, in Central Coast, in Canberra, as well as Western Sydney. And these sponsors come from all around the world, as you can imagine, especially America, Europe, Asia, and now more recently, even from China. So before this, China used to be a bridge that was difficult to gap due to the language issues. But now we realize that with the international market and more bilingual participants and more bilingual staff that we have here at Paratus, we are able to bridge that gap and actually get interest from more markets that we've never seen before. There's quite a number of research areas that we're working in at Paratus Clinical at the moment. Very interesting ones are novel vaccines with regards to sexually transmitted infections, such as chlamydia, which is, again, never been seen on the market, which is very, very interesting and very exciting to be a part of. There's also other vaccines, such as gastroenteritis vaccines with norovirus and other lipid-lowering medications, which are looking very promising as of current with regards to the current data that we've received. So these lipid-lowering medications hopefully would be part of normal everyday management for people with hyperlipidemia. And hopefully in the next few years, we'll see drugs like these on the market, which would help improve patient outcomes. There's also a number of vaccine trials that we do with regards to zoster, herpes zoster, COVID, the flu, and all these new technologies, surrounding delivery methods and vehicles that are hopefully going to improve the immunization and the immune response of people in the community. What gets me up in the morning to come to work, number one, is the team I work with. The team at Paratus here, we're like a small family, I would like to say. We're very close-knit, we help each other out, and all the doctors, nurses, site staff, and coordinators, we all work together very, very smoothly. Paratus is great. We always have new studies coming through the door from different sponsors, and every day is a new day, and there's always a new medication, a new vaccine, a new drug, a new device that we've never seen before or heard of. And it's interesting to me at least, that these new novel drugs and devices have the potential application to be the next best thing in the world of healthcare. I do enjoy eating and trying a lot of different foods from different cultures. Apart from that, I try and keep myself healthy at the same time by keeping fit and running as much as I can, which I probably need to do a bit more of. Another thing that keeps me in shape is spending time with our dog. So she enjoys going out. We enjoy little Bunnings trips in the air conditioning during summer, and that also gets my step count up.